Full night for the Utah Jazz for multiple reasons. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll get into this. This one may not be as long. The holidays are coming. I will be going to Idaho to my parents' house, the day after Christmas. So a lot of these will look less quality when I'm out there, but we'll see. We'll try. We'll figure things out. But so far, we're here. I'm trying to get this studio finished. I just haven't gotten to it. Things are crazy, and covering this league is a lot on top of, an actual day job and SLC Dunk. So anyways, and I am a little just annoyed with some things going on in the Twitterverse and the NBA verse talking about tanking. Apparently the Utah Jazz doing the thing that is best for them is making the NBA question tanking again, even though things weren't all that bad before, and Adam Silver, like he does with everything, made everything worse. With the flattening of the odds, he made it worse. Teams near the play-in now are tanking on top of, before when it wasn't flattened lottery odds, and if you had the worst record, you very likely got in the top 3 or 4. That was just what happened. Adam Silver, the moron that he is, the stupid, dumb, moron, idiotic person that he is, listening to the owners who don't have any sort of competitive edge that they're worried about. It's about money for them. And so, of course, like the big market teams are going to be like, what is this tanking? This can't be good for our money-making needs. It's not about competitiveness, because what was going on before worked. If you weren't in like the bottom 5, it wasn't worth tanking. It wasn't worth it because you weren't going to get there, right? But now, because of these flattened lottery odds, and I know we're talking about post-game about the Jazz, but this is the events that are occurring, and I got to start just doing more videos because I got to talk about these things separately, but I'm talking about it tonight. He ruined it, Teams like the Dallas Mavericks with Luka a few years back tanked 2 games to actually not make the play-in for a protected pick. That's so much worse than the Utah Jazz just losing some games to make sure they keep their pick in the bottom 8. The Utah Jazz were probably never making the playoffs this year anyway, especially with Walker Kessler getting injured, right? And even had they made the play-in, they weren't going far. So this is the best thing for the Utah Jazz. They did a good job tonight, and it's just going to improve. But if Adam Silver wants to fix things, he needs to stop trying to fix things that aren't broken. I'm sorry. Some teams are going to. It's just how it goes. And I don't care. There is not a league out there that is perfect with this stuff. Maybe baseball. Maybe the NFL, because it's like a hard salary cap and they've upped it to 17 games. But every game really matters in the NFL. So teams feel like they have a shot longer into the season. For the NBA, if you don't have a top 10 player on your on your team, and if you don't have really a lot of prospects, there is not a lot of incentive to be extremely good, because the only way to get better in the NBA is through winning the lottery. This game is simple. If you have an MVP player who has the ball in his hands a lot, you're going to be a very good team, and it's easier to build around that. If you do not have that player, you are not going to win a championship. You are not going to likely make the playoffs or go far there. It's not going to happen. It's reality. So trying to change kind of the reality of what this game is and how it works, sorry. And by successfully keeping those players off of, like, if the Utah Jazz had been given Cooper Flag, they would not be tanking this year. Sorry. But you are the ones who decided to make it much harder for the teams at the bottom to win the lottery. You're the ones destroying the middle class of the NBA and the working class and the low-end teams. You can't destroy their chances to grow and then complain about them doing whatever they can to overcome. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. You can't harm that group of NBA teams and then not expect them to do whatever they possibly can to get out of their situation. It's just what's going to happen. So tough. Utah's going to keep doing what they're doing, and it is 100% the right thing to do. It absolutely is. Now, I might have done it a little differently than the Jazz. I would have traded Markkanen 2 seasons ago, and you wouldn't have had to have worried about this as much. But still, it is what it is. This is how Utah is not getting a superstar by trade. They are not getting it by free agency. That's just a fact. If you think the Utah Jazz are going to be gifted someone like Luka Doncic, like the Lakers were, I got a reality check for you. It ain't happening. This is how the Utah Jazz will get their superstar, and this is how the Jazz will eventually get towards being a title contender. This is it. Now, if they don't win the lottery again this year, who knows? Utah will likely try to be competitive again next year, and maybe they'll somehow fix this stupid lottery system. But for now, this is it, right? And I just hope to heaven Utah jumps in the lottery this year. I really do. But they've got to drop as far as they can and get as many lottery balls as they can. It's just the reality. That's why Lauri Markkanen didn't play today. Let's see. This is Grizzlies. We might go through this relatively quick. I don't have anything to say about Svi Mikhailuk. He played tonight, and he went 2 for 9 and 1 for 5. He actually wasn't very good. And it's like kind of 2 nights in a row he wasn't very good. We'll see how the season moves along. Kevin Love got the start in place of Yusuf Nurkic, who rested tonight. He went 2 for 9. He took 9 threes. That's all he took, and he was not hitting them tonight. A lot of this was just based off of the fact that this was a back end of a back-to-back, something that Adam Silver has not fixed, right? That's a real problem, and players, not being able to practice during the season hurts the product, but sure, let's worry about the Utah Jazz at the bottom of the standings, right? That's the thing we're most worried about. Kyle Filipowski, though, 4 players on the Jazz played really well tonight, and one of those was Kyle Filipowski. 9 for 15 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. He was 5 for 8 from the free throw line. Look at this, 13 rebounds, 25 points. That's big numbers. That's like Mehmet Okur stuff right there. He just has to be this whole Jazz team. And in fact, maybe let's talk about it right now. I don't know if the Utah Jazz are too worried about improving defensively right now. And we'll see if those habits can change. I personally think they can. Like, I think next year, if Utah gets AJ DeBonsa and they make an effort to change, like, the real fix to this Utah Jazz team, and I got to look it up advanced-wise and find out. In fact, maybe we can just look it up real quick. Stats. Let's go to Stats Home here and look this up. I want to go to teams because I want to see transition defense. Defense dashboard. Let's see. I'll need to go through this. This might not be easy to find. Because what I want to see is tracking. Let's see. Defensive impact, catch and shoot. What I want to see is transition. Let's see here. Shooting, opponent shooting. Let's see. Does this show? This is actually really fun. I want to dive into this, but hustle leaders. Let's see. No. Well, it might not be here, guys. I might need to do some play type. Does this have it? Transition. Okay. But this is like, let's see. How many plays? This is interesting. Where are the Jazz in transition? 16.9% frequency. Utah is one of the lowest transition teams. But what I want to see is defending transition. Dang. Oh, look, defensive. Oh, perfect. Okay, so transition. Look at this. Okay, we found it. This is the fix for Utah next year, and it's why I think the Jazz are going to be so much better next year. Because I don't think this is where the Jazz are really quietly not worrying about it. And this is how they're losing games. It's on the defensive end. But look at this. They are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth biggest transition frequency against them. And you could see it tonight. I was there at the game tonight watching this, and it was crazy. Like after missed shots, 20%. That means 1 out of 5 possessions, it's transition for the other team coming this way. And then the points per possession, Utah is bottom 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, like bottom 10 or 11 here. Teams are scoring 27 points in transition against the Jazz. They're bottom 5. Look at this. This is how you win in the NBA. Washington Wizards, worst. Utah Jazz, 5th worst amount of points per game in transition. Once Utah figures out this transition defense, they will fix it, right? Some of these players aren't as bad defensively as we think. But look at this. The best teams defensively. Number 1, Oklahoma City Thunder. Spurs. Look at this. The Suns have been much better this year. And look at this. Less points. Grizzlies. Look at that. They stopped transition well. This is how you win more games. Field goal attempts in transition. Look at that. Opponents are getting 18.5 shots a game in transition against the Utah Jazz. That is how you lose basketball games. And then the field goal percentage, are we defending it? I guess we're above average defending it, at least. We're just giving them a lot of it. Let's see. Effective field goal percentage. Anyways, turnover frequency. Look at that. That is a crazy thing for the Thunder. These are things you should look at if you're trying to figure out how to win, honestly. What you can do is fix. Can you be the best transition defensive team? Because that's what they do in the playoffs, really. If you can do that during the season, and it's tiring, but if you can stop transition opportunities, you win basketball games. You do, because that's where you get easy points. Anyone who's ever coached or done this stuff, if you can stop transition, if you want to get easy points, you get points in transition. That's why when you get that ball, you push it up the floor. That's what you do. And if you want to win the game, you stop them from doing that. Look at this. Utah is on the bottom half or bottom 5 or 10 in all of this. Turnover frequency, I'm not quite sure what that means. I don't know. SF frequency, I don't know what that is. And 1 frequency, score frequency, percentile. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. Mother Burger, I just want the Jazz to win. Like, if we get the number 2 pick and Mavs or Spurs get the 1, at least we get either Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonsa, right? I can't do anything about who wins the lottery, but if the Jazz get the 2nd pick, then great. I would be really sad if we didn't get AJ DeBonsa, but you can do much worse than getting Darren Peterson, right? And I think Utah, I have a feeling this Cleveland pick down the road is going to be really nice. Utah's going to get some picks from this Cleveland trade. It's looking nice. So, anyways, enough about Filipowski. And if Filipowski and this whole Jazz team can just improve on that transition defense, this team gets so much better so fast. I think Utah can honestly win a lot of games next year. They just got to figure out how to win on the road, too. Ace Bailey played nice. One of the 4 better players today. 7 for 12 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. Very nice. He shoots the ball really well. I just want to see him get more opportunities. I loved this one turnaround jump shot. I just think this showed... let's see. Turnaround fadeaway. Yep, it was his first shot of the game, I think. Or no, this was second quarter. But look at this. He just gets the ball, and it was just like he knew he needed to take it, and he does. And just look how nice that is. That's just so easy. More of that. The more that Ace can do stuff like that, the better. That's a playoff shot right there. And it's really difficult to guard. And I just want to see him get more and more opportunities. That's one of the benefits of resting Markkanen, knowing that Utah needs to lose these games. You can let Ace Bailey do more of that. And so it's nice to see. It's just confidence builder. And we already see him knocking down threes too. It's really exciting if you're a Jazz fan. Keyonte George, he looked exhausted tonight. I mean, both teams had to be so tired. I mean, it was the back end of a back-to-back for both teams, and both teams flew into Salt Lake. You know, when teams fly in, it's like 3 or 4 in the morning. And so, I didn't show the screen. Sorry, Mother Burger. Thank you for the reminder. But anyways, Ace Bailey, 7 for 12, 3 for 5 from 3. I'm on Keyonte George. He looked exhausted. Both teams were exhausted, and he still managed to put up 50% from the field, 50% from 3. He went 8 for 9 from the free throw line, 24 points, 4 assists, 1 steal. He's just a star. He just is. It's just getting better and better and better. And I have a feeling Utah's going to win this lottery freaking finally. And if they can get a star with this Jazz, with this core, then I think this team has a chance to be extremely good. Like extremely good. You put AJ DeBonsa on this team and let him grow with Markkanen, Key, Ace Bailey, Hendricks. If they re-sign Kessler, you've got a really exciting team. And I'm excited to see what this Jazz team looks like because they've just got to win the lottery. That's really all it comes down to. They win that lottery, it changes everything. Speaking of Taylor Hendricks, and I put him on the cover tonight because I was there at the game. He looked lighter on his feet to me than he has all season. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but he just looked so just light. He's looked like lead feet a little bit this year to me. Like he's just been maybe not quite recovered, but tonight he looked good. And the numbers showed it. 7 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. And maybe a part of that was because everyone else was tired, and I think he didn't play as much minutes last night, so he was ready to go. But he took advantage. 4 rebounds, an assist, and 3 steals, 21 points. And he just looked like he did. He looked spry, whatever the word is, bouncy, whatever. He looked awesome. And he did a little bit of everything. He also took 5 free throws, which is great. And so just a really great sign. Yes, it's one game. And maybe it just goes back down, but we are seeing that he can absolutely shoot the lights out this season. I mean, at a certain point, it's not a small sample size. He's shooting from 3, 42%, right? And let's do totals. That's on 79, 38 threes, okay? 16 for 38. You can only do what you're allowed to do, and what he's doing with the time he is given is effective on the offensive end. Now, I don't know what the MO is defensively with this Jazz team. They aren't really trying super hard in transition, but that may be by design. Next year, you can bet transition defense should be like the thing. We are going to stop transition. You are not scoring us in transition. We are forcing you to score on us in the half court. And if Utah does that, they will improve defensively like exponential improvement. But this year, we're not worried about it, right? Isaiah Collier played better tonight than he did. It was nice to see him get a bounce back. 8 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds. Very nice for for Collier, who, he did not play well last game, but he did tonight. 3 for 6 from the field, and also 1 for 2 from 3. So that 3-point percentage is pretty solid. I don't think they give it, Mother Burger. I don't know. I don't think they do. Plus, in a weird way, it kind of motivates the Jazz to be even worse and get more lottery balls. I think Utah won the lottery when they were at 6. They went to 3 and got Enes Kanter. Can we get 3 in this draft? And at worst, you're getting Cam Boozer, who would be a really nice player with this Jazz team. We'll see. Sensabaugh, 1 for 6 from the field. He has been shooting badly. At this point, I don't know. It's the same thing like Taylor Hendricks with this short sample size. It's starting to not be a small sample size anymore. And the same thing with Sensabaugh. At a certain point, when is it just who you are? There's times where he goes super hot, and there's times where he does super not. And that was basically the last month for Sensabaugh. So who knows? Maybe he kind of gets out of it, but he is just not knocking down shots. Pretty rough. Walter Clayton played 15 minutes, also struggled. So there's a lot of up and down going. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. And then Cody Williams played for 8 minutes. I would prefer watching Cody Williams get minutes than 22 minutes for Svi Mikhailiuk. I really don't understand the point of Svi Mikhailiuk. If I was guessing, I would bet that Svi Mikhailiuk gets traded because, I don't know, you can get him again next year. If you really want to trade for Svi next year, you can give up something, I guess. But, I trade for Colin Sexton next year. Trade back for Colin. I don't know. But anyways, Walter Clayton Jr. and Cody Williams. I just think Cody Williams should get more minutes. Even if he's not playing the best, we've seen flashes of really nice play. Can we please just show some confidence in him? This 8-minute stuff doesn't seem to really, I don't know. Maybe Will Hardy's given up on Cody Williams. I don't know. But kind of would much prefer watching Cody Williams than Svi Mikhailiuk, if you ask me. I mean, and honestly, when you look at this Jazz roster, you can just tell who needs to be traded. It's Kevin Love, Svi Mikhailiuk right there. These minutes need to go here, right? And here. That's just the reality. And Yusuf Nurkic as well. It's an expiring contract, so there may be a team out there that might want it. So we shall see. All right, guys, let's just take a look at our tank board here. By the way, Jaden Quaintance at 5 is looking... That guy is special defensively, guys. He is like an absolute monster. I would love Jaden Quaintance on the Jazz at 10. You want to talk about helping this Jazz team win right away? You draft that guy, you are going to win some games. And it's really just defense. He looks like a very, very, just mark me down as calling him a generational defender. Maybe I'm wrong. But man, does he look good. Holy smokes. All right, let's see. If the lottery was today, Utah sits at 8, what would happen? Utah jumps, baby. Suck on that, Adam Silver. Suck on that. Good night. Utah gets Caleb Wilson, and we're ready to go, baby. Re-sign Walker Kessler. Go out and get one more free agent, and let's go. Let's go, baby. Love it. Another top 4 finish for the Utah Jazz. Big time, baby. The number 1 pick goes to Atlanta. Are you kidding me? It is what it is. All right, let's give a shout out to the All-Stars tonight. Let's give a shout out to Ryan Perry. The name means king. He's also the legend. Jace the Ace Garner. Steve Areno Stoofster. Let him cook. Sturdy Potts. Ezekiel Raisibe, the man from down under. Tyson Price, the price is right. See ya. Lex Later. Jordan the Goat Besserell. Christian House, Money to Haas. Ryan, let's see. It changed your name to Arx Poetica. Robert, Hall of Fame, Arx Poetica. Austin R. Grant, editor extraordinaire. Kiefer 3 at PG. And Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur. I wonder if I can change how that looks. But thank you so much to the members. If you'd like to support the channel, hit the button, the join button below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. It's going to be an awesome year with lots of cool things happening. I got to try to do these earlier in the night. We'll see. All right, guys, I will talk to you next.